The Aggies, the Jazz, the high schools. If it's the sport you care about, we're talking about it. The Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Eric Frandsen, Ajay Salvesen.
That's right, I'm back. I'm back.
For a minute.
Stop it.
Then you're going to leave me again.
Oh, my gosh. You know, I didn't get to take Columbus Day off to honor my ancestors.
Columbus is your ancestor?
Who had their land taken from them from a dude who was lost. And then I didn't get to take the day off when I was sick as a dog. But you're like, oh, yeah, I've got to go do some meteorite rating. So, no, don't open those.
Yeah, you want to see what's going on outside.
Eric, I hope you're listening.
Yep.
I found myself in Bountiful helping AJ call the football game. AJ, by the way, if you're listening to us, I'm really sorry I missed this morning. Totally, absolutely forgot that I was supposed to be helping out. Just flat out forgot.
Oopsie.
But you can't.
You left him out to dry.
I did. I really did.
You
to do a
talked to him
show
the night before. You were together the night before.
I totally forgot. So, I mean, that game went by quick. We flew through. We were done at 9. And I was like, well, it's good for you because you get a chance to, go home before you have a show tomorrow. And he goes, yeah, you too. And I'm like, yeah, my show's not till 4, but okay. Totally forgot that I was helping him out today on VFX, man. I feel so bad right now.
You should.
And I shouldn't.
Yeah, you left him out to dry. He was expecting you. He was planning on you, and then you weren't there.
Show's probably better without me, to be honest with you.
So you mentioned we had high school football last night. It was kind of a rare Wednesday night, though it's typical. They don't call it, I just learned this, they don't have UEA anymore. So they just call it fall break.
Yeah.
And everybody got so used to having these days off, they just said, UEA no longer has its convention.
So do the Aggies have fall break too?
So we'll just call it fall break. No.
They don't? Oh. I thought they did.
No, school's in session for USU this week.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
To my knowledge, I don't know anymore. Everything keeps changing. Anyway, you were there to follow the Mountain Crest Mustangs. We heard the Skyview Bobcats here on the Fan. And so there were a number of different games that took place. And Ajay, anything of the games that from last night that surprised you or went in a way that you maybe didn't foresee?
Yeah, Bear River beating Clearfield. They have like 9, 10, 12, 34 starters out. And
34, that's amazing.
I mean, Clearfield's a higher class team. They're 1-8 on the year, so they're not really that good of a football team either. But Bear River handles them without their starters. I mean, they were playing a JV squad practically, and they still beat Clearfield. That's impressive. That's a big win for Bear River. Because that might, we don't know what the RPI will look like till Saturday morning, but I think that may be good enough that with their game next week in the first round of the state playoffs, they might host it instead of being on the road. If they lost, they're probably on the road. A win, I think they may have a chance to host it now. So for me, that's that's a big win. Green Canyon losing to Woods Cross kind of surprised me too, to be honest with you. And I think they lost 35-21 was your final there in Woods Cross. So, yeah, kind of surprised Green Canyon lost that. How much that affects it, if it really does at all, I mean, we'll see.
Well, yeah, Green Canyon. So when you look at RPI, now you have to think of where it was two games ago, because you have to consider what happened last night and then also the games on Friday, because we didn't see the rankings released this week. So we don't know how Friday's outcomes affected the rankings. But Green Canyon won the week prior, and the week prior they were the third-ranked team going into the game Friday. So I can't imagine that Green Canyon moved much.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if they moved on the ticker. Even more than 3 spots down. I wouldn't. I can't see it. You lose to a good Woods Cross football team in a game that you're really in for most of the night. If they were to get blown out, then I could understand. But yeah, I still think they barely move. Skyview looked great. They dominate all the way through against Providence Hall. They secure the number 2 spot for sure. That is theirs and only theirs. That's solely in number 2. So they'll not only get a bye, but then they get to host the quarterfinals. Semifinals are a neutral, as is the state championship. But I mean, your first games your first games get to be at home. So just to make sure, Eric, I want to make sure I have this right. It's first round, quarterfinal, semifinal, state championship. Is that right?
I believe that is correct. I can. Oops, clicked on the right.
I just want to make sure. So. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. First quarter, semi, and then state championship. So, Skyview obviously is in the position to.
No. So there's 5 rounds.
What?
So we have the first week of playoffs is next week.
Yes.
Then there's another week of playoffs at home sites. Then you go to the quarterfinals. Those will be at home sites. Then you go to the semifinals, which will be at a destination yet to be determined. And the finals, which is still yet to be determined.
And by the way, from who I've talked to, they're still looking for a location for 4A. 5A and 6A, they've settled at Utah University. They're still looking for a spot for 4A from what I've been hearing. Southern Utah's unavailable. Weber State is unavailable because that's where 3A is. 2A and 1A usually play their site, or 2A plays at Weber State, and then 1A plays their games at home sites or in neutral fields at another high school. 4A is still yet to find a location to play at. BYU's unavailable. Utah State will be unavailable as well because they have games at home. I don't know where they're going to do this.
You'd think they would have this figured out before the season even got started.
Right? Yeah. So like I said, I know 6A and 5A, and this is more traditional. They do play at Rice Eccles. And with the schedule the way it works.
4A's normally been there too.
Yeah. 4A's been there too. But now there's a 6A class. The 5A and 6A class will take that spot. And 4A's got to find somewhere else to go. So they're left homeless for right now. And from what I've heard, they still don't have a destination yet, which is not good. That's a lot of football, Eric. So no wonder the season's so... Because I used to remember, I think the first round used to be last week in October. And now it's...
That's the same. But the thing is, if the playoffs start the same as they have, it's just they've added an extra week because now everybody goes.
When's the state...
If you're the top 10, you get that first round bye.
Yeah. When's the state championship and state semifinals, Eric?
So the semifinals are the weekend of November 14th through the 16th. They've kept that pretty vague. And then the finals will be November 22nd or 23rd. They've also kept that kind of vague.
Yeah, it's not going to work at Utah State because on the 2nd, we're home against BYU. On the 9th, we're at Fresno. On the 16th, we're home against Wyoming. And then home the next week against Boise State. So... Yeah, because I was thinking, well, Maverick would be a good location. Doing? Weber State will, because that's where 3A is, though. But I guess you could play 2 sets of semifinals and championships there, right?
Yeah, you could do one on a Friday, one on a Saturday, or you could do one earlier in the day, one later in the day.
Unless, the 16th, they're on the road at Montana. The 23rd, they're at home against Weber State.
Weber State's home against Weber State?
Sorry, against Idaho State.
Okay.
Shut up. So again, you'd be able to fit the semifinal games in there for 3A and 4A. Wait, so there would be 4 games, right, total on Thursday, Friday? Because you could play it Thursday, couldn't you? The semifinal and then play like another set Friday. Would that work out?
For the semifinals?
Yeah.
They're leaving it open that games could happen on either the Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Maybe that's what you do.
They've just been very vague.
Maybe that's what you do. And BYU won't let you come to their place. There is no way, and you know what, that BYU is going to let you touch that field.
Not on that sacred turf.
Nope, not on the, whereas Quinn Ficklin likes to say, on Temple ground. Even though you don't need to recommend, according to Quinn Ficklin. That was funny. Dude, I miss that guy. We need to get him on our show just to talk Aggie football.
Yes.
He would, and he just give us the best
He's all on the
stories.
all-interview team.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, hey, that's a good 5 best.
All time.
Who are the best 5 Aggies to interview in your time? And we got to get Al on that, too. That'd be good.
Would this just be football or all Aggie athletes?
Oh, man, you had to ask that. It'd have to be just football. Because, doing all Aggies could really make it. Well, I guess it'd be good to make it broad.
Because Spencer Nelson's on the list.
Was he?
Yes.
Is he pretty good?
He is high on the list.
Who would you take more, Quinn or Spencer?
Both entertaining in their own right. I probably would take Spencer just because he had a more volume.
And a better filter than Quinn. Quinn, you just never knew what was going to come out of his mouth. Yeah. Huh. That's good. Yeah, so BYU won't let you touch their field. And then Utah, of course, like I said, is already taken them by 6A and 5A. So, and here's the question. Because the class, Eric, the 4A class includes St. George, who's to say that they don't send them to St. George to play in the state semifinal?
It's very possible. They've moved the basketball tournament around a little bit to try to help those schools out down there who always have to travel north.
Because looking at Southern Utah's football schedule, on the 16th they're at home, on the 23rd they're at North Dakota. But I think I don't know, I just think...
They're going to have to do a Thursday or a Friday night at one of these venues. It won't be a Saturday.
Yeah, beware, you could be going to St. George for a state semifinal game again. And if, I don't know, because you can't change the site at last second and say, well, we had Southern Utah scheduled, but now we have 2 Northern Utah. It wouldn't work. Here's the thing, though. If you have 2 Northern Utah teams, we can't fit it in at the MAV. Right? You're going to make, for example, what we did here for basketball, and basketball's more understandable because it's just the whole thing's played there, but on a week-to-week basis, if it's going to be Skyview and Green Canyon in the state championship, are you going to send them to St. George and say, okay, state championship's down here? Oh, that'd be brutal, and that would upset a lot of people.
So it used to be you could kind of get an idea what the playoffs were going to look like because you'd have Region 11 number 1 versus somebody else's number 4 at a different region, right? And so you would get a bit of a sense of who would play where. There would always be some Southern Utah team would have to come up here, and somebody from up here would have to go down there. And that was just always how it was. Now, with these RPI rankings and the way that they've structured this, it's very possible you could have, like we're seeing with the girls' playoffs right now. In the opening round, it was Logan and Bear River played each other. In the quarterfinals coming up, it's going to be Ridgeline and Skyview playing each other. Just the way that the brackets work. But in that first round, because of the way the RPI was, you had 2 teams from the same area playing each other. And so that's very possible that we could see that. And so geography doesn't really mean as much. But if it looks like maybe they're keeping their options open, if it seems to be more schools from one part of the state over another, they have the flexibility to take the semifinal and championship games in that direction where they can get more fans in attendance. Because that's what it's really all about. Right?
Yeah, and it is.
For them, but getting the fans there and supporting your team.
Yeah, it really is. It's more about, and that's what we forget. And this RPI thing, the schools, the UHSAA has been trying to put this emphasis on less travel for the kids, less expense, less cost. Guess what? This is totally doing the opposite of that. In every way, it's totally doing the opposite of it. Because now you have more teams in the state playoffs doing more travel. It's just not going to help.
So there's a guy who's apparently tried to predict what the RPI rankings are going to look like. Have you seen this? And he's trying to, based on the criteria that UHSAA has put out there, put together his own list of what those numbers would look like based on the formulas. What he has put out there, this was, again, unofficial. This is unofficial. The official UHSAA rankings come out on Saturday. But according to what this guy has run the numbers, he has Skyview at number 2, Green Canyon at number 4. Their loss moves them down a little bit. And the loss for Mountain Crest knocks them out of the top 10. Sees them at number 11.
I don't think that's going to happen.
And in this scenario, Mountain Crest would be a home game, and you know who they'd play? Logan.
Oh, jeez. Really?
Bear River would be home. No, sorry. That's wrong. Mountain Crest would host Canyon View. Bear River would host Ogden. And Logan would be on the road at Ridgeline, actually. So take that for what it's worth. I just got turned on to this guy. I don't know how accurate he's been through the season. But that may be a bit of a precursor to what we might see this weekend.
Yeah, again, we have to kind of wait till Saturday and just, hold our ground till then. And the other problem with this, Eric, is that a lot of teams want to start prepping now, right? They don't know if they're playing next week.
Right, and they don't know where they're going to need to travel to.
Yeah, and so they don't have a bus. They don't have like buses lined up or anything. And then when they find out Saturday, they don't get a practice till Monday. So they don't get to watch film till Monday. So you get 4 days to prep for a state play-in football game. Like, how is that beneficial to anybody? I mean, the coaches don't have any film. In fact, they have to wait to get film, right? Because they'll find out Saturday. They have to immediately make contact with the other coaches from the other school, swap film, which probably gets there on Monday, if that, especially if it's from a St. George school. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. But
yeah, but at the same time, you played on Wednesday, so you've got a little extra time to work on you.
Yeah, but you don't need to worry about you. You got to worry about your opponent.
No, you do need to worry about you. If you're playing next week, you weren't in the top 10. You need to worry about you. There's things you need to work on to get better. That's the thing.
If you're not in the top, okay, yeah. If you're in the top 10, you get the bye week. You get the whole 7 days to work on you. Spiritually,
like 10 days.
Emotionally, and physically, whatever. You got to work on you. It's great. It's wonderful. You do your yoga. If you have a game next Friday, you don't get any of that. You don't have a chance. Like Thursday, you're probably gonna, go through like weightlifting and go through film from last night's game. Friday, you're gonna twiddle your thumbs. Saturday, you get the results of where you're gonna be. And then Monday, you go through film, and you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday's your walkthrough. Friday, you got a game. And for a state playing game, though, too.
Well, if there's travel involved, yeah. Then sometimes these first-round games, they happen like right after school gets out. So all the student body just walks out of class, and they're right there in the stadium, and it's an early kickoff. So if you have to travel across the state, you'd be on a bus all day, and you just get off a bus and turn around and have a game.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. You knew you had to be in the top 10.
It's how they've decided to do it.
You couldn't win the game, so.
But if this guy if he's accurate, then none of the schools in Region 11 next week would need to travel out of the valley. Mountain Crest would host a game, Bear River would host a game, Ridgeline would host a game, and Logan would go to Ridgeline.
Yeah.
That's not traveling. But for our sakes, I hope this is a little bit wrong, and I hope that Mountain Crest is that number 10 team.
Yeah, they've
been kind of in that area.
Yeah, they've been on the fringe. I feel like the win over Ridgeline is more emphasis than their loss to Bountiful.
Yeah, but beating Ridgeline, Ridgeline had maybe Ridgeline's win last night actually helps Mountain Crest maybe a little bit more than what this guy's given credit for. Because Ridgeline, beating them, they had such a low win percentage, It doesn't really move the needle for you very much.
But it's a region win. And I know region doesn't account for much, but it's still a region win.
True.
Like, for example, when I was talking to Bountiful's assistant coach yesterday, he said, look, our record doesn't, tell itself. He says, our region's so good. Farmington clubbed Ridgeline 35-0. Guess what? Viewmont beat the world out of Farmington just 2 weeks ago. Box Elder beat Viewmont. Viewmont beat Bountiful, but Bountiful beat Box Elder. Like, it's just all over the place in the region where it's like the Pac-12. Everyone's beating up on everybody, and so nobody looks good, but every team is tough. And I really hope that in consideration and in adjustments that they will make for next year, that they'll actually look at region as a little bit more important than what they do now. Because I think region does matter. It should matter.
It matters to your region. Skyview still gets to host. They still got to hoist the trophy. We are region champs. They'll put it in their trophy case. But how it affects the playoffs doesn't mean anything. No, it doesn't. What you do from the beginning of the season in mid to late August, to how you end the season in mid-October, that entire body of work is what matters. Not just that stretch of games when you're only playing in region. And the games on Wednesday night used to not mean anything. Those were just, you could give a chance to your younger players, work on a few things, play maybe an interesting matchup, but it was a short week, and you already pretty much knew if you're going to the playoffs or not because of where you finish in your region. So the Wednesday game on the fall break week didn't really mean anything. Last night, they meant something. Those games all meant something.
Yeah.
So, the difference between Ridgeline winning or losing last night, I think, was huge.
Yeah, it helps.
And I think that helps Mountain Crest. I think that helps the other schools in the region because they won.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Green Canyon, even though Green Canyon fell short to Woods Cross, I still think them and Skyview having that much success throughout the year will help as well.
So quickly, the rundown of what happened last night. Skyview beat up on Providence Hall 35-0. Woods Cross did beat Green Canyon 35-21. Woods Cross got out early on the Wolves. Green Canyon started to fight back, but then had a few too many turnovers that got in the way of themselves. Bountiful beat Mountain Crest 27-0. Bear River over Clearfield 14-6. Ridgeline over Viewmont in double overtime 49-48. A blocked PAT sealed the victory for the Riverhawks. And then also, Box Elder played Murray. Murray won that one 28-14. So Rich plays today. Tomorrow, Preston plays at Pocatello. That's in the Holt Arena. Bear Lake is hosting Westside. That should be a really interesting game, by the way.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Both those teams, similar records, 5-1 overall, undefeated in their conference play, so that'll be fun. There was that Skyview game last night, and during the Skyview games, Hurricane John Newbold, has his things that he does. And
yes, he does do a lot of things.
Does some of the things, and one of the things that he does is
a lot of things that he does.
Something that is involved with this.
Hey, don't forget our brother. I hate you. Back in. Okay, stop me if I'm not allowed to tell this story, but I'm going to tell it anyways. But please, I'm being serious. Stop me if I'm not allowed to. But in Salt Lake, when I was working for radio, Hans, right, has this thing where he's he's on the side of the road. And I think it's a prank call if I remember right, but it's about needing pie on the side of the road on I-15.
Oh, I've heard
this.
I
get some pie in me or whatever. And, dude, every time they played it, Hans would just get, he'd lose his mind. And then we were on a live remote. I was the engineer. And so then Hans would be like, I'll show you guys. And then he would always pick on me. He'd be like, Ajay, I want to show this soccer fella. Come here. And then he beat me up while we were on the radio and put me into a pretzel, show me some stupid soccer penalty back in the day. Anyways, I just think, and I'm like, man, every time I hear that, stupid. Hey, don't forget our brother. You're a jerk.
The bread and butter play of the game, courtesy of the old grist mill. There was this specific play that Hurricane John Newbold talked about during the game last night. Normally we do these on Mondays, but since the game was last night, we'll do it today.
I feel like this one's an obvious one, too.
So if you can correctly identify what the Old Grist Mill bread and butter play of the game was last night, give us a call and you could win 4 loaves of bread from the Old Grist Mill. Phone lines are 435-752-1069 if you can correctly identify the bread and butter play of the game last night from the Skyview Bobcats. Up next, there's some Major League Baseball going on. We also have our Pick 6 we do on Thursdays. All that's ahead coming up on the Full Court Press.
Win a 65-inch 4K flat screen TV from Lynn's Audio Video in the Preps Pick'em contest. Presented by The Logo Shop. Sign up to play at 1069thefan.com. Pick the weekly winners of each high school game, and you could win one of 11 weekly prizes and be entered to win the grand prize TV. Go to 1069thefan.com, and you could win. It's the Preps Pick'em contest on Sports Talk Radio 1069 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Jay Broadbent here with Alpine Home Medical. The seasons are changing and the cooler air is rolling in. From now until the end of the year, let us help you stay warm with a free Minky Couture blanket when you purchase any lift chair from one of our 9 locations. Our lift chairs will get you from sitting to safely standing with the push of a button. If you or a loved one is in need of some serious comfort, we have the solution.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
If you or someone you love is struggling with opioid addiction, here are 2 things you should know. First, treatment using methadone can reduce cravings for opioids and reverse withdrawal symptoms. Second, methadone treatment works best when it's combined with behavioral intervention. Intermountain Healthcare's Dayspring program in Logan provides both. Visit intermountaindayspring.org to learn more. That's intermountaindayspring.org.
Bad internet signal. I hate it. It says 2 bars, but it doesn't work. And video buffering? Don't get me started on video buffering. So tired of that circle on the screen spinning and spinning and spinning. Lynn's Audio and Video can solve your bad internet with Mesh Network. There's more to it than a bigger router or paying for faster internet. Have Lynn's do a signal test, show you a mesh network and improve your internet. Improve and extend your coverage. Stop the spinning circle on your screen. Call or stop by Lynn's Audio and Video right now and ask about a mesh network for your internet.
A diamond is forever and is perfect to represent your love. For those special occasions, give her a natural, one-of-a-kind diamond as unique as she is. Our exclusive brand, Neat and Brilliant Diamonds, is both beautiful and affordable with quarter-carat diamonds starting at $499. We have hundreds of sparkling diamonds at our integrity price guarantee with financing available. An investment for generations to come, Monday through Saturday 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.C. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
The Full Court Press. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at 1069thefan.com.
Eric Frandsen, Ajay Salvesen. Full Court Press continuing on here on 106.9 The Fan. Hey, congratulations to Cade Tarbett. Called in right away. Got it right.
Way to go, Cade.
The bread and butter play of the game was a 40-yard pick 6 by Mason Falslev. Is there anything that kid can't do?
Yeah, you get...
what an athlete.
Mow your lawn, walk your dog, cook the dinner,
this
all
was
at the
in
same time.
This was in the first quarter and gave Skyview a 21-0 lead.
Let me ask you something. I was talking to somebody the other night, and he said, who's the best all-around athlete that's ever came around out of Cache Valley? All-around athlete, right? Where do you put him? He's in my top 3.
He's got to be very high.
He's in my top 3.
He has to be very high on that list.
Absolutely in my top 3. I think Ryan Bohm would be up there too. Ryan Bohm was a freak of an athlete, basketball and football. He was a good point. Really, really good athlete.
Yeah.
Pain in the absolute
last
butt
year, we did for the first time. We did an all-region team for football and basketball.
Yeah.
And Mason Falslev was the MVP of both.
Yeah, basketball was a little bit closer than football. Basketball was neck and neck between a couple of kids with Mason. Football, he was clear cut, and it's going to be interesting this year. I'd say football, he's probably on that path again But I think there's a couple kids here in the second half of the season who have definitely made their claim to say, hey, I think I deserve a look as well. We're going to be doing all region football again. I'm excited to be able to do that with everybody else, along with you, and we'll put that out for release, and we'll get yelled at again.
Well, and I won't say it. Never mind. Yes.
I know what you were thinking, though. I'm with you. Yeah.
It'll be released soon. That's what
yeah.
as opposed to not being released
Yeah.
for a couple of months.
Yeah.
But no, this was an interesting night last night. We've got a few more games that we're going to be keeping an eye on tonight and tomorrow. On Saturday, we'll update our Preps Pick'em contest to see who wins $100 from Elements Restaurant and who our finalist is for the 65-inch 4K TV from Lynn's Audio and Video. But we really appreciate Logo Shop for making all of this happen. They're the Booster Club headquarters for all your competitive club and high school teams. They've been a great sponsor throughout all of this. Next week will be the final week. There are regular season games for the Idaho schools, and then we got the playoff games for the Utah schools. So next week will be the last opportunity to win some great stuff. But Ajay, let's shift from what happened last night in high school football to what's going on tonight. Astros at the Yankees, Game 4 tonight in New York. Do the Yankees even this up? Do the Astros take a commanding lead?
I think the more important question is, what does this do to the future of this series in itself? I mean, 4 games in 4 nights, and I feel like...
That's right, that's what we have the potential for.
And I feel like the way Boone used his bullpen in Game 2 or 3 had exhausted him, and Game 4 he didn't use it well either. I think with that, he has definitely put his team in danger of losing this series now. So with the great pitching of the Astros, the rested bullpen, and again, that tough lineup who's starting to figure things out finally at the plate, I like the Astros in this game tonight. And as good as Tanaka's been, I think Tanaka's been great, but at some point they got to go to that bullpen, and I don't trust the Yankees bullpen right now, Eric.
I think that the Astros pitching staff has probably been more solid. I think they've been able to stay on the mound longer. And so that I think that bodes better for them over all these games that get stacked up, because there's no break for a travel day.
Yeah, not anymore. That's been used for today.
So you're going to play one night if it gets there, and then travel back to Houston and play that next night.
Yeah.
So you'll be on a plane and then playing that same day or the next day.
What? So would Garrett Cole come back for Game 7 or Game 6 if necessary, or is he? How? Because he pitched 2 days ago.
Garrett Cole pitched
2 days ago, right?
2 days ago. So he could pitch in Game 6 conceivably.
So Verlander could pitch. Is he pitching? Who's pitching tonight?
Greinke.
Man, and Greinke got lit up the last time.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that Verlander could come in, because Verlander could either pitch Game 7 or he could come into relief tonight. You could use him. He's nearly on a full day. He's nearly on a full rest, right? I think he is actually on a full rest, if I'm not mistaken.
That is a good question.
Because if he's on full rest and he doesn't have to pitch until, in fact, you could actually pitch him Game 6, save Garrett Cole for Game 7 if you need to. Or if you're in that position where you know you can close it, either Garrett or Justin starts and then the other comes into relief. Like, that's how loaded this Astros pitching staff is right now.
So Verlander, he pitched on Sunday, Game 2, right? But he didn't get the win.
Yes. So he's already through full rest. So you could use him for relief or to start.
We could start him tomorrow.
6. Yeah. Because
he could start Game 5 tomorrow.
It's Game 5 tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So I was thinking it was Game 5 already. That's my bad. So yeah, he could start Game 5 tomorrow. Garrett Cole Game 6, and then go back to Game 7. I mean,
yeah, he's listed. Justin Verlander is listed as the probable pitcher tomorrow.
So the Yankees used a bullpen because they were going to use a bullpen for Game 4. That switches now with that day off. If you're the Astros, and no, maybe you don't go through a bullpen game. Maybe you can't. You don't want to risk it. Yeah, that probably put you guys in danger. I It baffles me how Boone can use a bullpen that had, that much rest and just throw it down the trash that quickly. That's incredible. And with this Astros lineup, who's actually figured it out, like I said, it's going to be really, really, really tough. So, I think Astros win tonight, though. I do.
I think the Yankees are favored in this one, but the Astros have shifted home field back into their favor with their win that they got in Game 3. But yeah, this is an interesting series. I think this one could go a little bit longer. I actually think the Yankees win tonight. Greinke got lit up in Game 1. The Yankees probably coming into this one with some confidence of who they have on the opposites. Who's opposing them. So it's at their place. The game is going to be at a little after 6 o'clock tonight on FS1. But the delay, because of the weather and how it affects things, may become more of a factor in games 5 and 6.
Again, I'm going to tell that bullpen being spent the way it was, it's going to put a lot of stress and a lot of tense on that Yankees pitching staff, and it's going to expect those starters to go 6+ innings. Like, they cannot be any shorter than 6. If they are, they're done. They're in so much trouble, Eric, even if they win.
All right, we're going to take a step aside. Let's do our pick 6 coming up next. The 6 things we think might happen this weekend.
Thanks for the gift today. What a wonderful air conditioner I have.
I was thinking of what can I get for Ajay for winning pick 6 last week, and I strolled across a thing of toys, and I thought, he's like a child. He would probably like this.
Wait, you got it because you thought I was a child?
I thought it would bring joy and happiness and a big smile on your face.
I thought you were being creative. Wait, you thought that was a child?
And it has candy in it, too.
You thought I was a child?
No, I thought you were like a child.
That's the same thing.
No, it's different.
How old do you think I am?
Logo shop, the logo shop. We logo stuff. Advertising specialties for pros that really know. Total customer satisfaction. Prices that are low. One-stop design delivered. Great selection too. Customized just for you. Yeah. Shop the logo shop. We logo stuff. The logo shop.
Make your home look the best it can for the holidays. Start by checking out the holiday preview at Fisher Home Furnishings. All the newest looks, and you'll save big on designer quality furniture. A 2-piece sectional with chaise lounge, $688, or take home a 7-piece dining set, only $469. Pick out a new sofa in love. Fisher's will include 3 tables and 2 lamps, and it's only $9.99, $10.99, or $11.99. Buy now and pay no interest till 2022 OAC. The holiday preview is underway now at Fisher Home Furnishings.
Students from all over rave about the education they receive at New Horizons Beauty College.
My name's Tessa, and I'm from Burley, Idaho. I feel like the instructors here are really awesome. Anytime we need help with anything, they're able to help us or show us different techniques, and I can learn something different from each instructor. We can always go to an instructor, and they'll definitely help us. At the end of a haircut, they'll always check to make sure everything's good and that we don't send someone out here with a bad haircut.
Begin your career in cosmetology at New Horizons Beauty College, 753-9779.
This is Jarek with Jarek's Fine Jewelry. October is our anniversary month. We've been helping couples find the perfect rings for over a decade. So to celebrate, we want to treat you to an anniversary dinner. Make it a date night on us. Come engagement ring shopping or anniversary shopping at Jarek's Fine Jewelry. We have over 3,000 rings in stock, including the newest custom designs. With no strings attached, no purchase necessary, we will buy your dinner at Sweeto Burrito. The entire month of October, come in ring shopping and Sweeto is on us. Make date night special. Make it Jarek's.
The Harlem Globetrotters bring their all-new fan-powered world tour to Cache Valley Friday, November 8th at Ridgeline High School. At a Globetrotters game, you won't just be watching the action, you could be in the middle of it. This year, the family-friendly games will offer even more opportunities to interact with the stars of the team. Don't miss the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters, live at Ridgeline High School in Millville, Friday, November 8th. Get your tickets online at ticketweb.com today.
The Aggies, Jazz, high schools, even the Pee Wee's T-ball team. It's the Full Court Press on Sports Talk Radio. The Fan.
I am like a star shining brightly, smiling for the whole world to see. I can do and say happy things each day, for I know Heavenly Father loves me.
We can't play that on the air. What the crap, dude?
Ajay, that's a song for you.
We're going to get phone calls now. We're not going to have a job tomorrow.
What? You're like
can't play that on.
You're like a star shining brightly. And I was thinking of you like being like a child.
Played that.
You were like a child, so
Now
I got
I'll
you
go
a childlike gift.
LL double hockey sticks. What the crap was that? Now I'm not even in the mood for pick six. I was so pumped up. Now I'm not even in the mood.
Come on, I gave you this. There's like a little helicopter.
Because you
has
thought of
lights,
me as a child.
and it spins around. It has candies in it.
I'm gonna go into church one day and just play with that, like right in the middle of the sacrament, and just like lift it up in the air.
You should.
Now I can't get that stupid song out of my head, man. Gosh.
Okay. All right, we need to get into our pick six, okay?
I swear to dude, I'm gonna kill you.
All right, 6 things we think might happen this weekend.
I am like a star shining. Do you root? Am I supposed to function? You go first.
You won last week, so you get to go. Well, I guess you get to choose whether you go first or
I won
defer.
the coin toss, so I got to go first. That's why I get a pick, and I want you to go first.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I will go first.
Yes, you will.
So I will begin.
Yes, you will.
It's like get my stuff together. It's
your fault. This is all your fault, by the way. I want the listeners to know this has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
Ooh, this is
Here we
good.
go. This is getting serious now.
This is good.
All right, Utah State hosting Nevada this weekend. Turnovers. Utah State will be plus 1.5. I mean, they create more turnovers. I guess it'd be minus 1.5, actually, would be the better way of saying that. USU minus 1.5.
Okay.
We take the over or the under?
That they force or commit?
That Nevada will... Let me put it this way. Nevada will have 1.5 more turnovers than USU. Over or under?
Ooh, over.
I also am going to take the over. All right, Caleb Rep, tight end for Utah State.
This could be good.
Yards for Caleb Rep, 45.5.
Oh, I think he's going to be used. I'm going to go under.
I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, it's a good line.
And then the last one for me is tackles for loss by the Utah State Aggies. 6.5.
Under.
I'm going to take the over, actually. I think that their offensive line's not that great, and I think the USU defense can get a nice push on these guys.
That's good. That's a good job. Utah versus Arizona State in Rice-Eccles Stadium. Tyler Huntley, 215.5 passing yards. Over, under?
I'm going to take the over.
I'm taking the over as well. Zion Williamson versus the New York Knicks on Saturday night, the final preseason game. Zion Williamson, 8.5 points, over, under, versus the Knicks.
Under.
Dang it, you knew, didn't you? I'm going to change it. I was
I
going to
knew
try and
what?
squeak one by you. You fest. You knew.
I knew what?
Shut up. You knew. I'm changing it.
He's not going to play for
Yeah,
those
he's not playing.
who haven't heard.
I was trying to cheat you out of one. BYU versus Boise State. That's at the Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Boise State by 11.5 over under.
I'm going to take the over.
I'm going to take the over. I was really debating about going under on that one. There's just something about playing at home against Boise State that BYU all of a sudden clicks, right? And then my final one for you, Penn State and Michigan. This one should be a good one. Penn State, 225 yards rushing over under.
Penn State rushing yards?
225.
At 225.5?
Yeah.
Against
Michigan.
Ooh. I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go over. I feel like Michigan's defense has been very suspect, especially on the road. And here against Penn State, I think I might be a chance.
And what's our tiebreaker this week?
Oh, yeah, we need a tiebreaker, don't we? Crap, I didn't think about that, man. You know what? Let's do Utah.
You won, so you're responsible.
Yeah. Let's do Utah and Arizona State. Score.
The score of the Utah-Arizona State game.
Yeah.
This game will be played in Salt Lake City.
I'll go 31-17 Utah.
Ooh. I'm going to say Utah. I'm going to say Utah 35, Arizona State 24.
You think Arizona State puts up that many points? Really? Okay. All
Arizona
right.
State's been a pretty good team this year.
Yeah, they can score. That's a good one.
All right, that's our pick six. 6 things we think might happen. We'll put it together so it's legible. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know what I just put down on paper. And we'd love to have you weigh in on it as well. If your votes, I guess, as it were, how you would vote on these things that we talked about. USU related, Utah, BYU, Boise State, and even some Big Ten mixed in there. So our pick 6 for the week, 6 things we might think might happen. We didn't need the tiebreaker last week because you crushed it. And for your winnings, you got a nice little helicopter.
Because you think I'm a 5-year-old.
No.
That's
I didn't think
what
you're a
you said.
child.
That's what you said.
I think you're like a child.
Same thing.
You're childlike. Not because you're a child. You're childlike. Anyway, Ajay, you got to skip out of here. But any final thoughts about 2 big things going on tonight? We got Major League Baseball playoffs, Houston Astros at the New York Yankees, and we've got an NFL Thursday night game, which I think could be really interesting, the Chiefs at the Broncos.
Yeah, Chiefs at Broncos. Broncos are just a flat-out bad football team. Not a great job by John Elway in drafting and management of the roster. I think the Chiefs win by 21 plus.
But look, the Broncos have kind of turned some things around the last few weeks.
Yeah, they play the Chiefs, though. You can't stop, and they can't stop the Chiefs' offense. There's no way. And then if the Astros win tonight, this series is over. This series is done. Astros will finish it off back at home. They aren't going to give up that opportunity to do so. I like the Astros tonight. I think Tanaka can go deep. I don't trust the bullpen at all. So, yeah, I like the Astros.
All right. I will send you on your merry way.
I will see you tomorrow.
Don't forget your
no high school games.
Your airplane. Not airplane, your helicopter.
Don't you want to give that to your kid? I mean, it's about his age.
Like I said, I thought of you because you were
You did not. You're so full of it.
Coming up next hour, we'll get into more stuff about the NBA. The general managers throughout the NBA submitted their 50 responses anonymously to various different questions.
Oh, yeah.
Rookie of the year, best team, who would you select if you were to start a team with right now, MVP, most interesting moves in the offseason. So we'll get into all of that next hour. And what do the Jazz look like in the preseason? Does it cause concern for what the regular season might look like from the Utah Jazz. All that coming up on the Full Court Press.
The Logan Gift Show is less than a month away and is now accepting applications for the 2019 show. This year's gift show is November 8th and 9th at the Riverwoods Conference Center. We would love to have your creative, unique, festive, and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. It's all about fun, style, and quality. This is a gift show that is truly a step above. The amazing food demonstrations, ideas, in your business will help deliver a gift show to remember. Visit with thousands of people looking for gift ideas and fun holiday cheer. Go to LoganGiftShow.com.
That's LoganGiftShow.com for details.
Or call 752-1390 for more information.
Sponsored by the Cache Valley Media Group.
Hey guys, have you heard any good mattress ads lately? This is Ryan at My Mattress, and we know it gets a little silly with all the mattress ads. Now let me throw our hat in the ring by reiterating our first rule, our 30-day price guarantee. That includes online, going out of business, and yes, scratch and dent, code word for used, mattress sales at any time. Our second rule is our 60-day sleep guarantee. If you don't like it, switch it for one that you do. At My Mattress, we want you to buy here because you get the best deal here. My Mattress by the South Walmart.
I'm Larry Gelwigs, the getaway guru for Columbus Travel and Funjet Vacations. It's our Columbus Day and Fall Super Sale with double discounts to Hawaii, Mexico, and the Caribbean. Purchase a discounted air and hotel vacation package, and we drop your price up to another $100 per booking. That's a discount on top of a discount. Book by October 18th. For the best travel deals on the planet, call Columbus Travel, 800-373-3328, or online at columbusvacations.com.
Steven, stop dragging your feet. Don't you give me that look. You've had a bad attitude all day. Now, look, I know you'd rather be with your friends right now, but this has to be done, and either you start cooperating or I'm going to start taking things away from you. And I think you know what that means, don't you, Steven?
Yes, honey, I do.
All right.
Okay.
Watch it.
Bigger isn't always better. At Castalite, you'll choose from a huge selection of pavers and receive help from experts. You'll see just how easy it is to do it yourself. For brick, block, rock, paver, and tile, go where the pros go. Online at Castalite.com.
The best businesses in America use Ricoh because Ricoh's considered the highest quality when it comes to copiers and printers. This is Nate Lamson with Valley Office Systems, your authorized Ricoh dealer in Logan. We have the perfect machine for any mid-sized office. Ricoh's IMC 4500, leased at only $119 per month. Plus, you get service from a company that's won Ricoh's Circle of Excellence 7 years in a row. Find us at valleyofficesystems.com.
There's a place to share gossip about the office party fun, and a place to share the story you tell everyone. There's a place to share a laugh about when things went wrong, and a place to share the video of you dancing to your song. There's a place to share spare change, lunch, and your time. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone.
The new home for the Full Court Press. Weekday afternoons from 4 to 6 on Sports Talk Radio, 106.9 FM, 1390 AM. The Fan.
Welcome back to the Full Court Press. Eric Frandsen with you on a Thursday. By the way, we ran through a lot of different things earlier in the hour about the high school football teams that played last night. Scores are all available on CacheValleyDaily.com. When the RPI rankings for the regular season are finally tabulated, because there are some teams who play today, Rich High School being one of them, then UHSAA will run all their numbers and publish that on sometime Saturday, and so we'll have that put together for you and published on what the implications are for our local teams that we'll be following. That'll be on Cache Valley Daily on Saturday as well. So keep an eye on that, and we'll let you know who's playing where, who has a first-round bye, who may be hosting a game, who may has to hit the road for travel. Did get pointed to this guy who puts together this Skylar Aiken, who puts together his own version of the RPI every week. So I've got to be honest, I haven't been following this closely throughout the regular season. This is the first time that I've seen this, so I don't know how accurate he's been or how close he's been. But according to what he has put together, this looks like a situation where we would see some of these schools from around here may hit the road. Mountain Crest would host, actually, I looked at this wrong before. Mountain Crest would host Uinta. Bear River would host Ben Lomond. Ridgeline would host a game, and Logan may too. They may actually host Cedar Valley, the way that I look at this. So they all may be having home games next week. We don't know. We'll find out more officially this coming Saturday. And it's too bad. I think the Mountain Crest was right there on the bubble of being a team to have that first round bye, but losing to Bountiful did affect them and did affect that. And they lost 27-0 last night. So full scores, it's all on Cache Valley Daily. We'll have the full updates on what the playoff situation looks like for this next week. That'll be revealed on Saturday. We'll have all of that there as well, including what happens with Box Elder and Rich, where their destinations may be as well. The Idaho schools, they have one more week in their regular season next week. So one more chance to participate in our Preps Pick'em contest as well. Short week this week. If you didn't get your picks in for this week, sorry, it's too late. Games have already happened, already starting to tabulate. But you can do it next week. That'll be the final week to do it. All right, so coming up next hour, we'll get into the NBA. Utah Jazz preseason is now wrapped up. How's it been looking so far, and what do the GMs say about the rest of the league?
And this is Above the Noise. Early in the season, it seemed like a pretty good bet. Patrick Mahomes was headed for a second straight NFL MVP. The Chiefs QB picked up right where he left off last season. But then a surprising thing happened in the last 2 weeks. Kansas City had issues on the offensive line. The defense can't stop anybody, and Mahomes tweaked his ankle. The Chiefs lost 2 in a row, and all of a sudden, Mahomes came back to the pack statistically. Now NFL writers place Russell Wilson at the top of the MVP list, with Deshaun Watson and Christian McCaffrey not far behind. I'm sure Mahomes is more concerned with winning than winning an award at this point. He'll have the national spotlight to himself tonight against the Broncos, and you might remember last year, he threw a left-handed pass to lead a comeback victory in primetime in Denver. The Chiefs hope Mahomes will get healthier and the team will play better on both sides of the ball. If not, last year's magical carpet ride will be a lot bumpier the rest of the season. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.